Hi, Anissa here with the Radiant Enchantress Initiative, and I am talking this morning with a pretty awesome lady that I'm very, very excited is going to be spending the week with us in Costa Rica at our Tropical Radiance retreat that Jane and I are doing this October. And I wanted to bring Michelle on, introduce her to you just a bit, and then just wanted to have her speak to anybody who may be watching this video who is considering coming to the retreat. Just thought maybe understanding a little bit about why someone may want to come, or hearing a first person who's experience has been this and they've decided, hey, I want to come to the retreat, and these are some of the things that I want, reasons why I want to come. So with no further ado, Michelle, beautiful Michelle, is with me this morning. Michelle lives in United States, and she is a professional real estate photographer. Very cool job that she does. And she is a wife and mother. And I am very excited. And thank you so much, Michelle. I know you're super busy. So without further ado, I'm going to get to just a couple of quick questions that I want to ask you to talk to the audience about. So welcome this morning. And thank you, by the way.
Thank you. My pleasure.
So one of the things that I wanted to ask you was, why do you want to come to the retreat in Costa Rica? What's kind of your main reason that you're wanting to come?
Well, there's many reasons, because like when you send out the invite, the list, the content, the environment, I mean, it sounds like such a fabulous experience. But as I look at, the primary reasons, the real draw for me is reconnecting with nature. I've gotten out of that. My daily habits don't support it. I have so much going on that's really appealing to me. I mean, I try to do that on a semi-regular basis on time off, but it's still challenging. So the whole concept of retreat, reconnecting with nature, and then is big for me. But also I'm looking to reignite the creativity spark. And you might think that I work in a creative field as a real estate photographer, right. But really what I do is somewhat formulaic and business oriented. I mean, I help sell homes. And so there is kind of a formula on how we do that, and we execute it very well. I love what I do, but I don't have any, at the end of the day, I don't have any energy left over for the creative activities that I used to participate in. And so I'm really looking to have, get some inspiration there, and return to some of my old habits and activities that I love that I've just kind of lost track of. So yeah.
It's kind of funny how we do that, right?
Yes. And I didn't even realize it was happening until, reading through your invite. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I don't, there was this thing, and that, I mean, for like, I would spend hours every week doing, and then my schedule got full, and, income generation is great, but then I miss out on these other things. So I've kind of lost some balance there. So I'm looking for that. And then just overall, I have such great respect for you and Jane and your backgrounds and your accomplishments. And, you're both very successful businesswomen, and or business persons is my preferred term, and your commitments to personal growth. So I feel like I could really gain something from you guys. And I'm often looking for people in my life that I can learn from. I have made an effort in the past. I want to be, the least knowledgeable person in the room, and surround myself with folks that I can foster the things that I'm looking for. So those are the main reasons that I'm so interested in Costa Rica. And I mean, Costa Rica, why not?
I know, right? Like, it's Costa Rica. I'm so excited. And is this the first time that you've ever been?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, it's been on the list for a while, but there was nothing. So, it seemed, it just is this big blob of unknown. And then I'm like, hey, Jane and Nisa are going. I'm there.
It's been on my list for a long time too, so I'm pretty stoked about it. And it's very interesting, and I that you mentioned, because we really haven't talked a lot about it in the Radiant Enchantress Initiative, or within the realm of letting people know about the retreat. But Jane and I are both business owners. In fact, we each have several businesses, and we will be talking about business. We will be having some really great conversation about finance. We'll be having some, conversation about not just, as you said, the reconnecting to nature is huge in what we're doing. We're going to do it in the rainforest. We're going to do it in the beach. We're going to do it with the dolphins. I am so excited. And getting the sand in your toes, if you will, like literally grounding yourself in the forest bathing. But we're also going to be doing those kind of exercises when it comes to our financial life and our business. And if you're not a business owner, that's okay. Like you can be, working for someone else and this will still apply to you. In fact, who knows, maybe it'll inspire you and to make a big change in your life. So yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that because we haven't talked about that a lot. The other thing I was wondering, Michelle, was if you would maybe, I know you talked about why you'd like to go to the retreat, but maybe is there one or maybe two things that you're thinking in your mindset that I really hope when I get back from this retreat that I'm going to have this or this as, my big takeaway? Like, do you have something in mind that you're kind of hoping you have that when you get back, that big thing?
Right. So, let's see. There were a couple things in the original invite that you guys sent out that spoke to me and that I'm mostly interested in, that I want to bring back. And they were kind of connected. One involved finding a better understanding of my innate talents. And because I think that I know what those are, but I don't see them tied directly to what I do each day. And I'd like to be more purposeful. And so the other thing that spoke to me was the connection. There was a phrase in the invite about learning the signs around you to create a purpose-driven life. And that hit me because it's really more about, so it's having a sense of what your talents are and then paying enough attention, being present enough to understand how that ties to how you want to go. Because so many times we just, let life happen and we roll along with it. And, the to-do list is done and cash flow is good. And like, oh, so this is as good as it gets. And I like the idea of being more purposeful in my day-to-day and spending my time and energy on the things that are highest priority to me, not just the most urgent on that particular day that have popped up often on someone else's agenda, not on mine. So
right.
those are the things that I'm wanting to connect with that I got from your original invite that had me, on board pretty quickly.
Well, I'm sure you've probably heard this before. They say if you don't plan your life, someone else will plan. Your life gets planned, whether you plan it or someone else does. So, that's kind of a huge thing that was big to Jane and I in our life, is making sure that we're the ones that are in charge of our plan. It's our life. We only have so much of it. It's a finite, situation, which of course we have no idea how finite it is. It could change for you and I both in an hour or tomorrow or whatever. But, it's so sad that oftentimes, they always say this, that when someone is at maybe the end of their life, the only regrets that they have are usually the things they didn't do. And so, because oftentimes we just get busy, we just start doing, and all of a sudden 30 years literally goes by. I just turned 50 this year. And let me tell you, that was a big, awakening thing for me. And but yet I felt really good about the fact that I have been planning my life. 12 years ago, I feel like I was woke up, if you will, and I've been planning my life since then. So I felt really good about that. I can't imagine having got to this point in my life and be like, wow, like, how did this happen? I understand why people have that freak out when they get to a certain age, because there's like, oh no. So that's really cool to hear you say, you're just so awesome, Michelle. I'm so excited to spend a week with you in Costa Rica. I know it's going to be so much fun and so enlightening. And I'm so excited to be able to talk to you, after the retreat and hear you express all of these things that you were able to take away and learn and put into place in life. And it's just going to be really neat to be able to spend that time with you. I just wanted to ask you real quick and I'm going to let you go because I know you got to go. But I just wanted to ask you, as a curiosity, what was it that has drawn you to the Radiant Enchantress initiative? Initially, like, that is the overall theme, and that is the organization, if you will, that Jane and I are promoting, focusing primarily on young women, young girls and women. And wanted to kind of know, what is it that draws you into the initiative and makes you want to be a part of that?
Well, everything that you guys do that I've seen and watched and read about is from such a giving perspective. Like, you're just wanting to share and help and guide. You and Jane have both, like, had such ahas and learned such big lessons. You just want to, spread it around to anyone who has any interest. And so that I highly respect, because I know when I've done that in small ways in my life, that's, that enriches me, and then that energizes me to do it more. And when you share authentically, people are so excited to receive it because it's not very common. So that draws me, just in you two being you. But what, on paper, what really appealed to me was in your mission, your concept of helping women find their individual version of success, because we all define it differently. There's no blueprint. And what I'm seeking as my version of success might be completely different from somebody else, but from what you guys, the experiences and the learning that you guys have compiled over the past several years allows you to see those different versions for the different people, as you gain a better understanding of us individually, and then the tools that you have to coach us to get where we want to be. So that is very appealing to me.
Oh, that is so awesome to hear you say that, Michelle, because that's exactly the message that we're trying to get across.
Oh, yay.
So that's great. That's really awesome. That's the first time I've ever asked you that question. And that was great. That's really great. I'm glad to hear that, because Jane and I really, we're grateful for the abilities that we've had, and we've done a lot of work, inner work, if you will, in the last, as I said, my journey started 12 years ago. I think Jane started right about the same time, funny enough. And it's just absolutely changed everything for us. And we want nothing more than to share that, to give back. So many people have given to both of us that has just, literally changed my life from, I think, way back when I very first met you. I think you heard me on stage one time talking about the fact that I never saw my husband. We'd been married 20 years, but we literally only slept in the same room one night a week because of our work schedules. And I worked for someone else, and my life was miserable. I'd never traveled to a tropical place in my life, none of this. And I actually learned, hey, these things are here. You just need to make the plan and execute them. And you have the power within you to have that perfect life that you want. And when that all happened for me, and all of a sudden, 9 months later, we owned $1 million company, and my husband worked with me every day. And then we, went for 10 days to, Hawaii, and all of this was started happening in my life. I just realized, wow, like, this really is doable. This is not some crazy magic formula that only a rocket scientist can do. Like, everyone can do this. And I just really want women to understand, and especially young girls. I'm very passionate about also working with young girls so that they don't have to wait until, like me, when I'm almost 40, to figure this stuff out. That it's all about you. It really is. And take care of yourself, love yourself, nurture yourself, and figure out what it is you want, because that's the way that you can then be all that you can be for the world. And that's where you really help, we all rise together is really true. So Jane and I want nothing more than to hang out with amazing women like you who want to push forward and be a part of that initiative. So we're very excited to have you, Michelle, in the initiative.
I am so looking forward to it.
Well, thank you so, so much. I know you've got to get running. I just wanted to thank you for spending some time with us. And any of you watching the video, if you are have any other questions or would like to chat more about the retreat, you can go to magicalearthwomen.com/tropical if you'd like to check out the information about the retreat. Or if you have questions below the video, I will post some contact information for Jane and I, and you can definitely contact us. We would love to see you in beautiful Costa Rica. We do have a few spots left available. And on that note, ma'am, you have a beautiful day, and I will see you in Costa Rica.
Yes.